Let me tell you about two women. Same age, same job, same salary, same city, same everything. Both of them wanted more money, and both of them had a plan. Sarah started a side hustle. She spent months watching YouTube videos about passive income and freelancing. She was completely convinced that a side hustle was the fastest, most reliable path to financial freedom. Emma walked into her manager's office and asked for a raise. She spent 2 weeks preparing. She had the data. She had the results. She had the market research. She was completely convinced that negotiating her salary was the smarter and more powerful move. They both walked away from their decisions, feeling like they figured it out. They both thought, I made the smart call. They were both wrong, not because their ideas were bad, but because neither of them actually sat down and ran the full numbers. Not just month one, not just year one, the full picture. 5 years, 10 years, a lifetime. And when you do run those numbers all the way through, without skipping anything, the result is going to genuinely surprise you. Most people chase the side hustle dream. They see the Instagram posts, they watch the YouTube videos, they hear the success stories, and they think, if I just start something on the side, everything will change. And most people are also afraid to ask for a raise. They think their boss will say no. They think it will be awkward. They think they do not deserve it. But the math does not care about awkward conversations. The math does not care about fear. The math does not care about dreams. The math only cares about numbers. I am Professor Wealth, and this is the real math. Before we run a single number, let's make this comparison completely fair. Sarah and Emma are best friends. Same age, 28 years old. Same job, marketing coordinator. Same salary, $52,000 a year. Same city, same apartment rent, same expenses. They even started at the same company on the same day 3 years ago. Now they are both looking at the same paycheck, thinking the same thought. This is not enough. I need more. Both of them are tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Both of them want financial freedom, but they choose completely different paths to get there. Sarah has been watching finance YouTube for months. Every evening after work, instead of relaxing, Sarah is watching videos about passive income, side hustles, freelance businesses. She has built an entire picture in her head. Start a side hustle, build it slowly on the side, eventually replace her income, quit her job, live on her own terms. She is completely convinced this is the answer. Emma has been doing something completely different. Emma has been quietly building a case. She documented every project she worked on for 3 years. She researched salaries on Glassdoor and LinkedIn, and she discovered something important. Marketing coordinators, with her experience in her city, earn $58,000 to $63,000 per year. She is earning $52,000. She is underpaid by at least $6,000 per year. So Emma has a plan. 1 meeting, 1 conversation, 2 weeks of preparation. One of them is right, but not for the reasons either of them thinks. Let's start with Sarah. Sarah decides to start a freelance graphic design business. This is not a random choice. Sarah already does design work. In her marketing job, she creates social media graphics. She designs email templates. She builds presentation decks. She is actually good at this. So she gets started. She builds a portfolio website, $200. She subscribes to professional design software, $55 per month. She creates social media profiles and starts pitching clients. Month 1, 0 clients, 0 income. She spent $200 setting up. She spent $55 on tools, and she earned absolutely nothing. Month 2, 1 client, $150 project. Month 3, 2 clients, $400 total. By month 6, Sarah is making approximately $800 per month from her side hustle. But let me tell you what is happening behind the scenes, because nobody talks about this part. Sarah is waking up at 6 a.m. She works her full-time job from 9 to 5. She comes home. She eats dinner quickly. She opens her laptop. She works on client projects from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. every single weeknight. Saturday morning, client work. Saturday afternoon, client work. Sunday, emails, invoices, proposals. She is averaging 20 extra hours per week. On top of her regular 40-hour work week, her friends are watching Netflix. Sarah is sending invoices, and she tells herself, this is temporary. This is the price of building something. By the end of year 1, Sarah has made approximately $6,000 from her side hustle. $6,000. When she tells her friends, they are impressed. That sounds incredible, right? Well, here is what nobody tells you. That $6,000 is gross income, not take-home money. As a self-employed freelancer, the government treats her very differently from a regular employee. She owes self-employment tax of 15.3% on $6,000. That is $918 gone. Then she owes federal income tax, approximately $840. After taxes, Sarah's actual take-home, approximately $4,200. But we are still not done. $200 website, gone. $55 per month. For design tools for the year, $660, gone. Net profit after all expenses, $3,340 for an entire year. Now I want you to really think about this number. Sarah worked an extra 20 hours per week. For 52 weeks, that is 1,040 extra hours. 3,340 divided by 1,040 hours, $3.21 per hour. Sarah is working her evenings. Sarah is working her weekends. Sarah is sacrificing her social life for $3.21 per hour. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. Sarah is earning less than half of minimum wage on her side hustle in year one. Now, before you think Sarah should just quit, hear me out, because Sarah does not think about it that way. She thinks about the $6,000 number, and she is proud of it. And honestly, she should be proud. She built something from nothing. Because year two, everything changes. Now let's talk about Emma. While Sarah was spending her evenings and weekends building her freelance business, Emma was doing something completely different. Emma spent 2 weeks preparing for one conversation, not working extra hours, not sacrificing her weekends, not building anything, just preparing. She documented every single project she worked on in 3 years, every campaign she launched, every result she delivered, every goal she exceeded. She quantified everything. Then she did her market research. She found that marketing coordinators, with her experience, are earning $58,000 to $63,000 per year. She is earning $52,000. She is underpaid by $6,000 per year, and she has been underpaid for 3 years. She scheduled a meeting with her manager. She presented her documented results, clearly, confidently, without apologizing. Then she presented her market research. She showed that the market rate for her role is $58,000 to $63,000 per year. She asked for a raise to $58,000. Her manager listened. Her manager looked at the data and offered $56,160, an 8% raise. Emma accepted. The whole meeting lasted 22 minutes. 22 minutes. Emma walked out with $4,160 more per year, $346 more per month, starting on her very next paycheck. Now let me be very clear about what just happened. Emma spent 2 weeks preparing. She spent $0. She worked 0 extra hours. And she received $4,160 more per year, guaranteed, automatically, every month. No invoices to send. No clients to find. No self-employment tax to pay. After tax take-home on that increase, approximately $3,100 extra per year. That is $3,100 for a 22-minute meeting. Compare that side by side with Sarah. Sarah earned $3,340 net for 1,040 extra hours of work. Emma earned $3,100 net for essentially 0 extra hours. They made almost exactly the same extra money in year one, but the way they made it is so fundamentally different that it changes everything about what happens next. Because a salary raise does not just add money in year one, it becomes Emma's new base salary, and every future raise is calculated from that new, higher base. Every future bonus from that higher base. Every future 401k contribution from that higher base. The raise compounds every single year for the rest of her career. And that distinction, over 10 years, is worth tens of thousands of dollars. Let's run the actual numbers, year by year, no shortcuts. The full picture. Year one comparison. Sarah, net profit after taxes and expenses, $3,340. Extra hours worked, 1,040. Effective hourly rate, $3.21. Emma, Extra take home after tax, $3,100. Extra hours worked, 0. Year 1 winner by net income? Sarah, by exactly $240. Year 1 winner by hourly value. Emma, by an enormous margin. Now year 2, Sarah's side hustle grows. She has regular clients now. She raises her rates. She is making $1,500 per month, $18,000 per year gross. After taxes and expenses, net profit approximately $11,000. She is still working 15 extra hours per week. Effective hourly rate? Now $14.10 per hour. That is a massive improvement. From $321, but she is still working. Every single weekend, Emma gets another raise. Annual performance review, 4% increase. New salary, $58,406. Total extra above original salary, $6,406 per year. After tax take-home extra, approximately $4,700. Extra hours worked, 0. Year 3. Sarah makes the biggest decision of her life. She quits her job. She goes full-time freelance. She is making $3,500 per month, $42,000 per year gross. But now she has no employer benefits, health insurance. She now pays $450 per month herself, $5,400 per year. Gone. No paid vacation, no sick days, no retirement match, business expenses, $4,800 per year. Self-employment taxes, $6,426. Federal income taxes, $5,200. Net take home after everything. Are you ready? $20,174 per year. She is working 55 hours per week as her own boss. Now Emma in year 3. Another 5% raise. New salary, $61,326 plus her benefits package, worth approximately $12,000 per year. Health insurance covered. Retirement match. Paid vacation. Total real compensation, $73,326 per year. After tax take home, approximately $44,500. Working 40 hours per week. No weekends, full benefits. Guaranteed paycheck every month. Year 3 comparison. Sarah take home $20,174. Working 55 hours per week. Emma take home $44,500. Working 40 hours per week. Wait, let me say that again. Emma is earning more than Sarah and working less than Sarah. The person who asked for a raise in a 22-minute meeting is making more than double the take-home income of the person who quit her job, built a side hustle, and is now working 55 hours per week as her own boss. How is that possible? One word: benefits. This is the number that changes everything. And it is also the number that almost nobody includes when they compare side hustles to salary raises. Benefits, real dollar value benefits. When Emma's employer pays for health insurance, that is $5,400 per year. Emma does not have to earn. Sarah pays that herself every year from her own pocket. When Emma's employer matches her 401k contributions, that is $3,066 per year in completely free money. Emma puts in $1. Her employer puts in $1. Instant 100% return. When Emma gets paid vacation days, that is $3,600 of income she receives while doing absolutely nothing, while sleeping, while traveling, while sitting on a beach. Sarah takes a day off. Sarah loses a day of income. Let me add this up clearly. Health insurance value, $5,400 per year. 401k employer match, $3,066 per year. Paid vacation value, $3,600 per year. Paid sick days value, $1,500 per year. Total hidden benefits value, $13,566 per year. Every year, automatically. Without Emma doing a single extra thing, Sarah pays for all of this herself. Or she goes without it. Now let me show you the retirement math specifically. Emma's employer matches 5% of her salary into her 401k in year 3. On her $61,000 salary, that is $3,066 per year. In employer contributions, free money, if that $3,066 is invested every year for 30 years at 8% average returns, that employer match alone grows to $375,000. $375,000 from free money. Money Emma never had to earn. Money that simply appeared because she showed up to work that Sarah does not have. Now, I want to be fair here. Because Sarah is building something, Emma simply cannot build an asset. Emma's salary stops. The day she stops working, Sarah's business, if she builds it properly, can generate income, even when Sarah is not working, even when she is sleeping, even when she is on vacation, even when she retires. That scalability is the side hustle's single greatest superpower, and it is something no salary raise, no matter how large, can ever replicate. But the full 10-year picture is not what anyone expects, and we are about to go there right now. Let's jump to year 10. 10 years after Sarah started her freelance business, 10 years after Emma had that 22-minute meeting, Sarah at year 10, 10 years of building, 10 years of grinding, 10 years of sacrificing weekends and evenings and vacations. Her business has grown significantly. She has a small team, 2 contractors who handle the execution work, annual revenue, $180,000. After all expenses, net profit approximately $95,000 per year. She contributes the maximum to her solo 401k, $22,500 per year. And here is the number that makes everything worth it. Her business is worth approximately $285,000 to $380,000. That is an asset, something she owns, something she can sell, something she built from zero. Emma at year 10, she has had consistent raises every single year. Current salary, $78,500 per year. Total compensation with benefits, approximately $93,000 per year. She has $187,000 in her 401k, including all those employer matches that compounded beautifully. Over 10 years, she has never had a month of zero income. She has never stressed about finding clients. She has had every weekend free for 10 years. Now the total wealth comparison. Sarah, total net income over 10 years, approximately $420,000. Business asset value, $330,000. Total wealth created, approximately $750,000. Emma, total net income over 10 years, approximately $390,000. 401k value, $187,000. Total benefits received value, over 10 years, $133,000. Total wealth created, approximately $710,000. After 10 years, Sarah is ahead by approximately $40,000. Now before you say, the side hustle wins, let me show you the number that changes that conclusion. Sarah worked an average of 50 hours per week. For 10 years, Emma worked 40 hours per week. That is 10 extra hours per week, times 52 weeks per year, times 10 years. 52,000 extra hours, $40,000 advantage, divided by 52,000 extra hours. Sarah earned 77 cents per extra hour she worked. 77 cents per hour. For 10 years of extra work, is building a business worth 77 cents per hour? For some people, absolutely yes, because it is not just about the 77 cents. It is about the freedom. It is about ownership. It is about building something that is completely yours. Sarah built an asset worth $330,000 that she can sell. Emma cannot sell her job, but for others, the answer is absolutely not, because 77 cents is less than minimum wage. Because Emma worked 15 fewer hours per week. Because Emma had every weekend free. Because Emma had full health coverage for a decade. Both of them built real wealth. The difference is, one path required significantly more sacrifice than most people realize before they start, and the other path required significantly less work than most people realize is available to them. Let me be completely honest. This video is not about telling you that side hustles are bad, and it is not about saying salary raises are always better. The real answer depends entirely on your situation. So here is exactly when the side hustle wins. Situation 1. You have a genuinely scalable skill, not a time for money skill, a skill that can be productized, a skill that can eventually be done by someone else while you still get paid. Graphic design, software development, content creation, consulting, these are scalable skills. Driving for a rideshare? Not scalable. The scalability question is the most important question to answer before starting anything. Situation 2. You specifically want to own an asset. Emma cannot sell her job. Sarah can sell her business for $285,000 to $380,000. If building a sellable asset is your goal, the side hustle built into a real business is the only path. Situation 3. Your employer has a hard salary ceiling. Some roles cap at $70,000. No matter how long you stay, no matter how good you get, a side hustle has no ceiling. Situation 4. Location freedom matters more than financial optimization. Emma's income is tied to her employer. Sarah's business goes wherever Sarah goes. If lifestyle flexibility matters more than stability, the side hustle wins. The side hustle wins when you treat it like a real business, not a hobby, not a weekend project, a real business. Sarah and Emma both made their decisions based on incomplete information. Sarah heard that side hustles create freedom. Emma heard that job security creates stability. Neither of them ran the actual full numbers before deciding. Neither of them asked, what will this actually cost me in time per week? What will this actually pay me per hour after all expenses and taxes? What am I giving up if I choose this path? Can I do both? The real trap is not the side hustle. The real trap is not the salary raise. The real trap is making a decision that affects your next 10 years based on a podcast, a YouTube video, or what your friend told you at dinner, without running the actual numbers. Because here is the secret that neither Sarah nor Emma ever thought about. The highest earning people do not choose between a side hustle and a salary raise. They do both at the same time. Step 1, negotiate the raise first. Get the guaranteed income. Get the benefits. Get the 401k match. Lock in the higher base salary that compounds every year. Step 2, build the side hustle with the extra cushion, not from desperation, not from needing it to pay the rent, from a position of strength. Base covered, benefits secured, retirement match locked in. Now build something on the side without that pressure. That is an entirely different foundation to build from. And the results are entirely different because of it. They keep both streams running until the side business is large enough and stable enough that the trade-off finally makes sense on their terms, on their timeline, from a position of strength, not desperation. And the next time someone tells you side hustles always beat salaries, or salaries always beat side hustles, ask them one question, just one. Did you include everything? Did you include the self-employment tax? Did you include the health insurance? Did you include the 401k match? Did you include the real hourly rate? Did you include all of it? Because the answer, that includes everything, is the only answer that actually matters. Run the full numbers, always, before you decide, before you quit, before you start. Run the full numbers. If this video gave you something useful today, if it made you think differently about income decisions, drop the word hustle in the comments right now. Just that one word, hustle. I read every single comment on every single video, and I will personally like every comment I see. And while you are down there, tell me, are you Team Sarah, Team Emma, or are you doing both at the same time? I genuinely want to know. Hit subscribe if you are not subscribed yet. New videos every Tuesday and Friday. We do not pick sides. At Wealth Explainer, we run the numbers, we show you the full picture, and you decide. The next video, right here, breaks down exactly what happens when you keep your job and build a business at the same time. What do the hours look like? What do the numbers look like? When does it make sense to go full-time? It goes live on Friday. Do not miss it. I am Professor Wealth. See you Tuesday.